that?
That's somebody else sending in Castle Rock Kenny shit.
Okay, you ready?
Oh, yeah.
No, I want to see if you can hit the post on a song you've never heard of before. This is just for me.
7:17 at WDUG. 17 minutes after 7 o'clock, 73 degrees. Kenny Premier on the radio next. Right now, it's Turbo Love. Instrumental post.
Turbo Lovers.
Oh, he didn't correct me?
Maybe he tried.
That.
Well, that is a Judas Priest song.
That is.
Oh, it's,
All right.
It's a cover?
Well, Turbo Lover.
Turbo Lovers
is a
from Judas
Priest
Priest.
song. Wow.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All right.
I'm your
job.
Turbo Lover.
Welcome to the first ever non-smoking Doug Stanhope Shotclog podcast, because Bingo's parents are here and you don't smoke in the goddamn Funhouse when Bingo's goddamn parents are here. And you don't use salty language like we're about to use. But
I wondered what was different in here. It's not smoky as fuck.
I can see you.
Breathing.
This podcast comes on the heels of 2 podcasts we did last night and a very long day. Tracy slept till 5 o'clock tonight.
No, you misunderstood me.
Or you lied.
I said she's been down all day. She just didn't get up. She wasn't sleeping all day. She was in bed reading her Kindle and not really getting up until you needed someone to watch hockey.
Well, hey, I did that too.
Yeah.
I didn't. I did. Erickson, Brett Erickson, Chad Shank, Chaille are all here. The Erickson, the Bretchels, you still can sleep till 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a hangover. And I got up to piss and I saw Chad was still here at 6 a.m. after we went to bed at 3 a.m. And I was shocked that he hadn't gone home yet.
I drunkenly stumbled out 20 minutes later, and I told myself, you can't drive home. Then I did anyway, but I
had
was
to go to
still
the
too
bank.
fucked up to drive home.
I had to go to the bank at 9 o'clock because taxes. I had to make sure I put money from my business account into my personal account to cover taxes. And I was like, I'm too drunk to drive, but it's daylight, so no one suspects it. I'm completely anti-drunk driving, but when it's that or the IRS, yeah. Fucking, I'm driving drunk.
If I would have got pulled over, I would have been fucked. I realized it halfway home. I was like, I just smell like booze horribly in here. It was bad.
Bingo's parents got here at like 3 in the afternoon, and I had to apologize before I hugged Ma. I go, I know I smell like a bar rag. I can feel it oozing off of me. But yeah, nights like last night, you have to capitalize on the perfect storm. Chaille's in town finally after wham, my mother's dead. Erickson's with him. Chad Shank has crawled out of his hut. We got to podcast as much as possible.
And we leave tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we're jamming them out. Oh, can't count on fucking Uphill Kim and Dave. See, if you keep name dropping, they're interested in listening. Appeal to the ego.
The podcast that we put out today has been out for a couple hours now. I don't know if Bisbee has moved, but when we went to sleep last night, I think it was number 2 in the top 10.
We're still at number 2 right
Number
now.
2, and that because we cranked from 18th place to number 2 and then stalled miserably. And then somebody today said, hey, I can make a bot that will believably crank out votes for you on this. And I didn't answer the tweet because I didn't know. I don't want to do that. I mean, we're kind of, it's not fraudulent.
We're salty in the mind for sure.
Wait, but what you're saying is we would be in first place by now, except Thomasville, Georgia is clearly the kind of place that has a fucking bot.
That was my point. What if they have a bot?
They definitely do.
Because no one knows Thomasville.
Population 18,000. That's
We have 5,000.
But that's not that much that they should be that far ahead of us with our killer termites.
I think the votes are in, and whoever updates the leaderboard is just holding on to it to make it more interesting, because we're clearly in first place already.
Well, that's a theory. We'll see.
I don't know why they would do that, so it's a half a theory.
Sunday, we have till Sunday the
24th
of April 2016. I have to say that, Dad, because this goes out on the internet, and someone might listen to this 3 years from now. We listen to Bill Burr's podcast when we're on the road, and we haven't been on the road since October 2014.
Tell me about it.
So when I listen to it, if he goes, I'm playing at the Saskatchewan fucking casino, I go, what year? I don't know. So yeah, we'll just keep fucking hammering that all through Sunday.
We're gonna cheat
if
organically.
We're first, just keep hammering it, because someone from another Sitka, Alaska, might find a guy with a bot. I don't want to do it that way. I want to do it straight up killer termite style.
They can usually tell, by the way, when there's something mechanical that's creating those, they'll notice a pattern. Like things are gonna go in waves when the killer termites. They'll hear it. They'll listen to the podcast. They'll have to listen to it again to write down the where they're supposed to do it. Then they'll go to
They're gonna find their pants.
Derek for mayor. Yeah.
Get a phone card to get some minutes.
Get their dial-up cranking. You know what's really weird right now is, as we're doing this podcast, Bingo's mother is reading my book in the background. And I said, I took a picture with her with the book. She was holding it up like she was already posing. And I go, I'm going to get a candid snapshot of this. And I go, I want to tweet this. Bingo's mother plus my book equals baby plus a gun. They've accepted me so far. Barstool. I'm trying to recap after the last two. I gave Danny LaBelle some shit on one of the podcasts for being a 370-pound fuck that ruined my pneumatic adjustable cutesy cheap-ass bar stools. He ruined two, but we tried to fix one. We talked about we were going to try, but it wasn't until very late at night. Even after Erickson and Chaille fell down.
I forgot about it till I saw it earlier. We fixed it by my fat ass sitting on it.
And then sitting on your
Stanhope
lap.
sitting on my lap, and Tracy sitting on Stanhope's lap.
And you had to grapple us all like Papa Bear.
Yeah.
Keep us in this big ball.
And it bent it halfway back into place. And then my drunk ass, after we all got off, had a brilliant idea to leap in the air like a leapfrog style and fucking land on it.
And it worked.
It worked. I can't believe I didn't fucking bust my ass.
It was one of those creeper memories where like 2 o'clock in the afternoon I went, oh fuck, did we fix that bar stool? and I found the one that's where it's the base is dented in. I go, that's the one. I sat in it. It's perfect. So Danny LaBelle, you're fucking sacrosanct. It took 3 of us to make one of you fat motherfuckers, but we counterbalanced you.
That's the Philosophers podcast.
Modern day philosophers. I think I had it right yesterday.
It's in the link from the last show, but that's going to go out on the 25th. It is a swap
April
cast.
25th, 2016. Erickson. Erickson and Chaille. They had to drive out here with Chaille's dead mother's shit.
It's my stuff now. It's my stuff. Let's get that clear.
Great. Hoarder starter kit.
Yes, definitely.
So yeah, you guys went to bed at like midnight, and then it was just me and Chad and your wives.
I honestly didn't even realize that these guys left.
I did find myself.
We make that kind of impression.
I was so drunk.
It's great here because you can go to bed at midnight and still have drank for 13 hours straight.
It's a problem. It's definitely a problem. I did find myself making eyes at your girl at one point.
Go for it, dude.
I
If you learn anything, let me know.
I think I have flirty face on right now.
I must have blocked that out.
Oh, no, that wasn't actually, but I felt my face look like I think I'm 22 at a bar. I have flirty face on. We were talking about bingo. It was good stuff. Do you have a dent on your head, bingo?
Yeah, I had the flowers on.
Oh, that's right. All right. I was like, did someone hit you? You have like, you know how Kenny for mayor has a lump on... He has it on the other side. I didn't know if you were growing a horn opposite of Kenny for mayor.
That's Kenny's thinking lump.
Yeah, that's where he keeps all his good ideas.
There's so many, they're busting out of his head. Actually, that's the softest part on his head.
I just want to say Derek for mayor like 4 times so I get equal time. Derek for mayor. Derek for mayor.
Don't worry. When you guys make Bisbee number 1, and only if and when you do, well, you have to do that. But we'll get there. It's going to be fun to write. We wrote some shit last night. It was the Adderall. Adderall Jack stopped by again today. Drove 4 hours from Phoenix to drop off Adderall while his wife sat in the car.
I love that guy.
I know.
I've not met him or seen him, but he's all right with me.
I had to explain to him. He was one of the guys that came through town. Did we talk about this last night? He came through town, and people all the time, you guys, hey, I'm coming through Bisbee in June. Well, I don't know what I'm doing in June, but if you're here that day anyway and you email and there's something going on, I'll probably say, yeah, come by. And if I'm down or out of town, no. So he was one of those guys. It was football, and he came through with his girl, and they sat here. I have just pictures of memories. We're already hammered. It's late games. And he brought a bunch of Adderall. And I remember that. I remember nothing else. They sat there kind of like stumps, not saying anything. And then he came back. I was fucked. And then he came back again. Someone knew his number. Someone got his number. Hey, do you want to call that Adderall Jack guy for more Adderall? He lives in Phoenix, but we're up at night, like last night, fucked up. Call him up. Hey, yeah, I'll come down. He'll drive 4 hours. Well, then he goes, wow, you're more, because when he shows up the next day, we're all strung out and hungover. It's like, this is how you were the first time I met you. You're always like this. I go, yeah, because when we call you, we're fucked up and we think you driving down with Adderall is a funny idea. And by the time you get here, it's no longer funny. But he's a sweet guy. But that's a guy I really want to talk to because he is a stand-up comedian on the up-and-coming levels, which I didn't know, but he said we've had this conversation. And I go today. I said, is your wife? First of all, this is the funniest part. Is Erickson and I are sitting in here today. We're watching soccer. Go Tottenham. Hot Spurs, Tottenham. Lifelong fan.
Lifelong Tottenham fan.
Tottenham is the best. The Hot Spurs.
I've heard of Tottenham.
Only a few people will be upset by that joke. The rest will not. No, it's a joke. Anyway, we're doing the math, and I go, fuck, Adderall Jack is coming. And you fucking swore to me, Chad Shank, that you were going to be here.
I told you to tell me what time.
I know. I didn't want to fuck with you. The daytime.
Chaille told me be here by 6.
Well, at some point I go, I don't know if I can tolerate Adderall Jack. I go, I'll buy, you fly to Erickson. I'll vacate, you placate. So, because he's a stiff. He's a fucking cardboard cutout of a human being, but I know there's a human being underneath there. But I go, did you leave your wife in the car again? Oh wait, first of all, yeah, I said, did you leave your wife in the car again? And he goes, It's not my wife. Kind of not the point. She sat out there the last time. She sat out there for like 30 minutes before someone realized his girlfriend's in the car. Like, she's welcome in. She doesn't want to come in.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the same girl that was here the first time.
Maybe he just picks up hookers before he comes over here. We don't know.
I didn't go out and check to see if there's an actual girl in the car. I know the first time he came here, he had a girl with him. But as we're doing the timing, Erickson and I are like, well, the parents they're at Hazard, and like, Adderall Jack, it's 3:15. He said 3, and then Bingo's texting me going, hey, do you guys need anything? We're about to come over from the other house. And I'm like, fucking Adderall Jack is going to show up at the exact same time as the parents. I guarantee you. And it was, 40 seconds away.
Maybe.
They walked. I had just given them hugs and 2 sentences of small talk. And there's the giant, what did we call Martin's kid? Baby Huey. Big baby Huey. Adderall Jack standing in the door. And I'm like,
Yep.
I go, hey, Adderall Jack, this is my in-laws. Ron and Gabe, this is our drug dealer. His name's Adderall Jack, but I'm not going to tell you what drugs he. And I don't even think Mom knew what Adderall was. She goes, I don't want to know what drugs. I don't even think she got the joke, but we got the joke. Everyone else kind of bailed on us all day. Like,
Yeah.
I was busy.
Chaille was working his balls at Chaille. I've never seen Chaille this stressed out where you see him collapsing. Usually he just works all the time for fun. But now you just see his eyes going, we had to write some shit for Shawcroft. Lynn Shawcroft is putting out, do you know what
Vinyl.
exactly what it is?
Oh my gosh. Do you believe in gosh?
All right.
The posthumous release from Hedberg.
Mitch Hedberg.
And I don't know much more other than she said, hey,
I
will
thought
you
it was
write
like
a story?
catalog, and she asked us both if we could do a 200 to 300 word quick story for Hedberg, but didn't give us a timeline. So today she's like, hey, don't mean to bug you, but I need it today. And
Tapping her foot.
Yeah. No way, not Lynn Shawcroft.
Yeah. Well,
here, I hate to ask this, Chad, but were you here when that band was staying here from the Americana Festival?
One night, yes.
Because one of the dudes stayed down at Chaille's, and I gave him the key, and I can't find the key, and now Chaille has to get shit from the crawl space that's on that key ring. He has his own key for the house, but the crawl space is only on that. I don't remember the name of the band. I know the girl.
Oh, shit, I don't either.
Oh,
Turbo Lovers?
Turbo Lovers.
Shout out to Turbo.
Was it the redhead?
Yeah, Bree. I remember her name because she emailed me. So I emailed her, hey, do you have the guitar player's number? Oh, he doesn't have a phone. He's only on Facebook. Let me see so I haven't heard back. But in the morning, he needs the key. He's got to unload a trailer full of furniture. He had to edit 2 podcasts. He had to write a story. He had to do this podcast, your interview, and then leave tomorrow morning. And I've never seen him look this wrecked.
He also cooked an entire chicken.
That's the way his mother would have
Hearted,
wanted it.
yeah. We also have orders to do. We've got
Oh, that's right.
almost 200 orders from for the store
and then
merchandise.
your wife was sloppy drunk, so she couldn't take care of anything. She could only sit in bed with a Kindle book all day. Leave me alone for hockey.
This is why I don't hire employees.
I date him.
I don't hire employees. I fuck them. Oh. That was in the Adderall. What?
He was the one that came up with that.
Oh, yeah. In the throes of Adderall drunkenness, Mom. When you do Adderall, it's like a speedy thing where we all end up talking over each other, and then you drink way past you would drink. Because I go, I feel kind of awake. And if you were not on Adderall, you'd just go, I'm drunk and embarrassing. But since you have better motor skills and you're talking succinctly, you go, let's keep drinking. And at some point, the cacophony of all of us talking over each other, even though, and Kenny pointed this out, that he goes, you guys are mad talking all over each other, but you all understood what each other was saying, even when you're not talking to each other. And Brett Erickson at Brett Not Brent on Twitter coined the phrase.
The new drug is ear-drall for people who are hanging out with people who are on Adderall.
The listening drug.
Somebody needs to invent ear-drall.
Ear-drall. Get us some stickers. Yeah, that's a breaking point.
Yeah.
Because I need a cigarette. And now mom's showing dad shit in my book. Read this. So yeah, I gotta step out and cry and vomit.
I'm imagining that you're trying to figure out by the look of it what page they're on and figure out what they're reading.
I know it's not the part about them. That's at the end. Yeah, we're going to break. Yeah, we're broken. We're broken. Hey, you miserable cunts. You want to ever see me again? You go to the Stanhope store at DougStanhope.com. We have new vinyl, something to take the edge off on vinyl. That's right, something to take the edge off on vinyl. Drunk with Power pint glasses and Stanhope shot glasses, as well as T-shirts. Pop Off Vodka Presents, which is coming out as I believe we're going to put that on iTunes. We filmed that in the Funhouse. So Pop Off Vodka Presents, we have to sell those before we put the shit out because we will get the cease and desist. The Doug Stanhope podcast T-shirts. Abortion is Green is back by popular demand. Death of a Salesman as well. And we got stickers, CDs, DVDs. And now the Doug Stanhope store at DougStanhope.com. Open 24 hours. People are doing methamphetamine and staying up. You never know what hour. So please go to the merch store at DougStanhope.com and buy some shit. It keeps Chaille here. It keeps the podcast going. And you want that shit. And anything else you want, we'll make. Bye. Yeah, no, the only thing I had in my notes, and they're just vague memories. I got into a drunken Twitter. It was actually Jim Jeffries started it. And then Hennigan clued me into it, and I jumped in on Jeffries' behalf. But a Twitter battle with Piers Morgan.
Oh, I missed
the
that.
Cunt of all cunts of humanity. I don't know how I missed him in my spite pool. My death pool. We have one league, if you don't know. We have the death pool we actually research, and then we have a just for fun, no money, but people you really want to die. And Piers Morgan, I'm like, how did I miss him? Well, because he's irrelevant and he's not on the air anywhere.
That's the fun of the spite pool, I think, is that as people come up like that, you can write them down for your trade round. Because, yeah, I've come up with a few since I've made my initial list.
Piers Morgan should definitely be in there. But he's responding. I've never heard of you. Then why are you responding to me? People tweet awful shit at me every day.
Well, and you as a lifelong Tottenham fan will know that Piers Morgan, that cunt, is Arsenal for sure. So, I mean...
Do you know how hard it is to say that word in front of your mother-in-law?
It's not my mother-in-law.
She's probably reading it in my book as I'm saying it. She's reading way worse stuff, and it's all true stories.
She's getting cunted across all media platforms right now.
But yeah, I just remember having a back and forth with him on Twitter and going, I got to go to bed. And then I woke up, but then all the killer termites, thank you very much, started attacking him. Well, if you don't know him, why would you respond to him, you fucking piece of shit? And they know all his backstory and all the hideous shit he did and tapping phones and whatever that scandal was. I don't know exactly.
News of the World? Was he with
He
them?
was, but he bailed and came over here right before the scandal broke, so he didn't have to face charges. He's over here like some kind of, I don't know.
And we did
on the
America's
lam.
Got Talent or something? Did you do that for a while?
Oh, I think he,
Yeah.
he did.
He replaced Larry King.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, yeah, on another show, not America's Got Talent.
Yeah, he's the reason you know the fucking Kardashians, this piece of shit. Yeah.
I thought O.J. Simpson was the reason we knew the Kardashians.
That was just the parent. But he interviewed the Kardashians in the Larry King spot as though that was something that was newsworthy. You know what? You've never heard of me. I should have never heard of a fucking Kardashian, Piers Morgan. So yeah, if you're bored at night and we've already won #1 and you still want something to do, no, don't even bash that guy. Keep him irrelevant. I love the fact that Piers Morgan is up late, 3 hours later than me if he's in New York, 8 hours if he's in London. I don't know where the fuck he is, but he's up at 11 o'clock Pacific time battling people on Twitter.
Why would he engage you? That is so fucking strange.
Probably if you're verified on Twitter, you can check.
That's why.
You have a verified button where you can check just the important people who liked your thing or retweeted your thing. So he probably just saw that I was verified. Well, I don't even know who you are, Mr.
Twitter does.
Yeah. Yeah, none of your fans battled back at me, but mine did at you. So the people that follow you are fucking bots or nobodies.
Yeah, you got super delegates. He's got nothing.
I like that. Yeah. Killer termite super delegates. Yeah. All right, this was my fucking bowl of hatred this morning, and I yelled at breakfast about this. And the only word I could come up with is faggot. And I've stopped using that word mostly because of Todd Glass specifically. But still, you don't want to be the guy who's still saying nigger, because when I was a kid, that's what we said.
You could say colored back then.
Yeah. So, and it's not politically correct, but yet kind of either way. The only word I could come up with for Australia was faggot. The government, when I woke up to the Johnny Depp tape with the news still playing on the Today Show or whatever Channel 4 is, I woke up to hearing Johnny Depp doing this bullshit, trying not to laugh apology. Him and his wife, Amber Heard, they smuggled their dogs into Australia, if you don't know, on their private jet when they're shooting pirates. And they got busted because some asshole on the crew took the dogs out to get groomed.
Well, they had helicopter shots, paparazzis in helicopters, and you could see the dogs inside the house in the sliding glass window. You could see, they were going to that extent.
It was fucking
to catch
crazy
them.
because that's when we took Sydney over, my niece. And it was crazy. Fucking helicopters circling over the set, just trying to find any story. Some woman fainted on the set and it was evening news or some bullshit. But, so they had to go back to Australia because they were facing prison time. Australia doesn't fuck around with, Bingo's got jacked up for having jerky. I told Bingo, listen, Australia, these fucking assholes don't have any food whatsoever, don't have eaten for more than 12 hours. Like you're getting surgery, why don't? And then I don't have any food. And then the dog hits her bag at the baggage claim. Well, it's jerky. It's not food. I know jerky is food. So they were looking at actual prison time, and I think she took the fall, and it was my fault or what. But they still, Australia made them come back to face these charges, dropped the charges, but made them do this fucking apology. Well, we want you to apologize on camera. And the only word, that's such a faggot move. And I wish I had a better word for that. It has nothing to do. It's just a Nancy. It's like if TMZ were government. Well, we're just going to make you embarrass yourself. Or you want to go to jail or embarrass yourself. What do you want to do? I hold all the cards. Fuck you. And I know how bad he was saying, fuck this. I don't care. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'll fucking go to jail. I don't give a shit. And some fucking agent whispers in his ear, like, all right, I'll do it.
Didn't they want to, like, the official in Australia wanted to, like, well, he threatened that he's going to put down the dogs.
Yeah. Like they have a more of a tough guy persona because of Crocodile Dundee, I guess. I don't know. As opposed to England, where they're just kind of like, oh, we're fucking washed up and shit on us. Make. Bing. Sorry, that's an inside joke. But Australia, they're still kind of they're a fucking fuck Australia. That's all I got.
That's it.
It's just a cunty thing to do because it's like, we can do this, so we're going to make him do it.
Yeah.
Like,
no punishment.
we're going to make you do this.
It was just one dude's ego that could make that call. I want you to say it. It's like when you get caught stealing. You're going to go back down to that store and you're going to apologize to that man. Say, I'm sorry. No, I want you to say it like you mean it. I wonder if they had a director going, no, that apology's not good enough. You were smirking. You say it without a smirk, Johnny Depp, or you're going to go to our Australian prison.
I remember when I was younger, they used to get, like, if a celebrity got a DUI, part of their punishment could be having to do a PSA telling other people not to drink and drive. Are they trying to dissuade other celebrities from bringing their dogs to Australia?
This is a
fucking assholes.
This was a PSA to the elite rich.
Yeah.
On their special, like, closed circuit TVs.
And I'm not going to say any names, but Gary Busey, if you could take a note, learn your lesson from me.
Well, they do the PSA shaming. Like, I remember Paris Hilton had to, like, put on dungarees and go scrub graffiti. And then Winona Ryder, when she got caught stealing, didn't she have to do some community service?
Yeah, but that's service.
Yeah.
Make them pay the fine and give them. The guy's got. Johnny Depp is worth $819 billion. He told me. He showed me every bill.
We counted it one night.
He keeps it in his refrigerator, and that's why the hummus always has crust on it, because it's on the counter. Like, let me take out $1 billion and I'll refrigerate your hummus. What were we talking about?
PSAs.
Yeah, you could charge him a fine that you could put towards your ecology if you care so much, but you don't. You're a little fucking snatched.
It's like Buscemi in Fargo when he doesn't want to pay the $3 when he leaves the airport parking, and the guy makes him, and he's like, "Oh, you think you're fucking pretty great because you got that fucking uniform on? It doesn't make you better than me." And he just fucking snaps.
That guy's his whole life will be and well, when Johnny Depp came here, and I can't do the accent.
It's such
some zero that he wears that as a badge. Mm-hmm. Levon wears his war wounds like a crown. That guy wears that. This is the only story I'll ever have to tell at the pub.
It's such a specific violation, like chartering your private plane to a private airstrip and taking off your two little tiny dogs into your rented mansion, to which TMZ caught a glimpse of them because they're trying to watch you before you go to your set.
Well, they act like this is Jurassic Park or even the butterfly effect. If you remember the butterfly effect, we're going to go back in time and we can hunt a dinosaur. But don't step off the track. Who was it, Heinlein? Who did that, Dad? Come on, Jesus. Ma?
Butterfly effect, the movie, I think it was Ashton Kutcher.
That's not. Anyway, the point is they act like they're immune. As long as you have to sign a slip when you come through customs, no germs can ever get here.
Right.
That nothing will fuck up our ecosystem. The Simpsons did the famous one with he brought a toad or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he ends up like a mosquito, Homer turns into a giant mosquito or something.
Well, they went to Australia and they were going to cane Bart. That one.
Oh.
Anyway, the point is, when you're really bored with voting for Bisbee, when you're really bored with fucking with Piers Morgan, when you're bored of buying merchandise from the DougStanhope.com merch store to keep Chaille in town and in business and keep this podcast on the air, and just send Chad Shank shit randomly and follow Brett Not Brent at Twitter and go to his shows in LA. When you're done with that, I just want you to mail germs to fucking Australia. not anthrax. Nothing illegal.
Just sneeze on a thank you note.
You feel a little ill, just achoo into an envelope and mail it to Australia. You fucking, yeah, that sushi didn't sit right with me. Yeah, wipe and put that paper in a reusable bag and mail it to Australia. I wish I knew the name of the cunt that was in charge.
Care of the Mayor of Australia.
The Mayor of Australia. Castle Rock Kenny, Mayor Australia. Oh, thank you very much as we close out this beautiful podcast. You do it, Chaille. You read it.
They sent it to you.
We both don't have reading glasses. I hope I'm not too late with these. The Kenny for Mayor website doesn't say when the voting will take place. Anyway, good luck, Mike Fatmouth Cosgrove. And he sent a rack, a veritable rack of Castle Rock Kenny for Mayor of Bisbee. It's a no-brainer. By the way, he's a no-brainer. Whoever sent the giant vinyl had He's a No-Brainer, which I don't know if it started with It's a No-Brainer. The song went It's a No-Brainer.
Chad said He's
works.
a No-Brainer.
He's a No-Brainer works funnier. I forgot that was your original idea.
I forgot to.
But It's a No-Brainer works. Thank you very much, Fat Mouth. And other thank yous, I think there's a couple I've been missing.
If anybody wants to make a Derek for Mayor poster, you can do that too.
That's right. Chad Shank is in the Derek. Actually, Chad and Chaille. Wait, no, you're undecided. Brett Erickson and Chad are in the Derek for Mayor camp. He doesn't get out much to get on the podcast because he's enslaved by a girl that he should never be. Like, I'm surprised that guy can ever find a girlfriend. Like, if you move to Bisbee, if you're that like weird loner dude, you can hook up like out of your weight class in this town. Jen, she's here. Jen at one point was like, yeah, I'd like to maybe date at some point. And I said, well, I'll ask Gretchen, like, who's a dude you could date? And she goes, she's better off turning gay. No dude's worth shit. You think Derek's getting laid in L.A.? Never.
I think that about all dudes. How did any of us fucking...
I
don't know.
I got a bar.
Wow.
So any other thank yous? Anything? Dad, do you have anything you want to plug? No. Do you have a church function coming up where you're going to play the organ? Do you have a crocheting class you want to plug?
No.
Nothing?
No.
Uphill Kim and Dave, you're going back to Alaska up in Delta Junction?
No Function Junction.
No Function Junction. I honestly, after we stayed with Ma up in, I always want to say Mill Valley, but it's Northern California. After we stayed there and had fun, I go, yeah, I can be comfortable at your place. You got to size up the people. Usually I get a hotel, but yeah.
Come on up.
All right, I'm dying of the tuberculosis. That's a podcast, I guess. I don't know what it is. All right, I need a
Chaille
cigarette.
shrugged non-committally.
What?
I'll put a song on at the end and I'll stretch the credits.
All right, here I'll just throw this out there. Chad Shank just did an on-air interview for the not Dayton,
the
Canton, Ohio
Repository.
So and I don't know if that'll air. That's gonna sit as an evergreen, we call that. But thank you, BJ Lisko. He's gonna put that in the entertainment press at the whatever you just said?
The Canton Repository.
And his band is Turbo Lover. So we're going to do the same outro in case that never airs, because it's just an interview. You can find it online. Here is BJ Lisko with his band Turbo Lover and their first track off the CD he sent. Rock it out, baby.